chat. I see Swag Jeff is in there. Vinny's in there.
Murph Fan Cave's in there.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We do have 4 likes, though.
Oh, we do? Hey!
Paul!
Welcome to the party, Paulie.
Fargo.
What's up, Fargo?
Dude, I missed the show last week, but I got something good to try today.
You got his beer over there, locked and loaded.
Yeah, got it locked and loaded with a koozie and everything. I'm ready. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, there's your bestie.
Well, yeah.
Bial, what's up, Bial? Hey, Foxy Scorpio, what's up, Kill Jadis? I loved your call this week, Michelle. That was awesome. Oh, I suppose I should bring up my controller window here so I can start the show, huh? I sort of forgot to do
Just
that.
press the damn button, nerd.
I will. Here we go. Let's kick off episode number, what is this, Jeff? 241?
241.
Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Belichick, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. And what is up, Raider Nation? Welcome to this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. It is episode number 241 of Raiders Fan Radio. We appreciate you jumping in and joining us on what is Steve Austin Day, as the kids are calling it. Because it's 316.
What?
So if you believe that,
What?
If you love your Steve Austin,
What?
Well, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Smash a couple of beers together and get the waterfall pour going out there, Raider Nation. Yeah, we love us some wrestling around here, and so we're gonna celebrate 316 Day. But even more importantly, here in a little bit, we're gonna talk a little bit about the passing of Scott Hall. Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. And but this is Raiders Fan Radio, so we are gonna talk a lot about Raiders football tonight. We're going to talk about Max getting extended. That, of course, is Mad Max the Condor. We're going to talk about some free agency that's been going on. We're going to talk about some of the new staff that we've seen that has come in. We've heard a lot from Patrick Graham. We've heard a lot, of course, from Josh McDaniels. We're going to hear a little bit from Patrick Graham, but then we're also going to hear from some more folks around the Raiders' new hires. Then we're going to get to, of course, the Sea of Fans mailbag, which is where we hear from you, and more of you and less of us is a good thing. So we appreciate all of you that are joining us also in the chat room tonight. You can join the show each and every week on the YouTubes, as the kids say. That is YouTube.
America, go to the YouTube right now.
Or an old politician. And so go to the YouTube, and it's youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. You can find us there each and every week at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern, and jump into the best chat room, the absolute best listeners and participants and fans of all of Raider Nation, and folks like Kiljadis, Atticus B. Rockin', Paul, Michelle Sweat is in there, Greg Salas is in there, Tyrone Graves, Kiljadis I mentioned, Kevin the Raider Nerd is in there, Ebony Graves is in there, David Crockett, Raider Jack is in there. We're going to hear from Raider Jack in a little bit. Mark Rivera is in there. Fargo Raider is in there. So many of our good friends. We appreciate you. Bugsy Raider. Michelle's Cookie Sheet of Doom is in there. And, no one better than to not only comment on Michelle's Cookie Sheet of Doom, but also the guy that is going to join me in the booth tonight, at least for a little while, because Uncle Mosh might be here in a little bit. But in the meantime, it will be just myself and my best friend and yours, the man that adorns the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk. He is the one and only Swag Jeff.
Well, yeah.
What
oh
up,
my gosh!
Swaggo?
Oh my gosh! I missed you last week, man.
Missed you too, brother.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, but I got to watch it on the big screen. I gave the kids iPads and stuff, and I said, "Daddy's got work to do." Okay? Yeah, absolutely.
Daddy's got to watch Raiders Fan Radio.
Well, absolutely, for sure. So yes, it is so good to be here with all of our closest friends in the chat. Tyrone Graves with a $5 donation says, "Rest in peace, Razor Ramon," and Mike Nezer with a, I believe. That is a $20 donation, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. And it says salutes, gents, and Raider Nation.
Awesome,
so,
man.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
appreciate all those donations. Goes to the One Nation Foundation, where we give to Raider-related charities throughout the year. I think our goal was $20,000 for 2022, and I still got faith, man. We can hit that number. Summer of Swag is just around the corner.
Just around the corner. We're at like $1,500, and we're partway too much. But we're going to hit our stride. We hit our stride in the summer with Summer Swag, and
Totally.
then when the season starts, that's when we start hitting some big licks in there. And so we appreciate all of you that have donated so generously. The latest one, of course, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider with an $8 donation. Greetings, nation. I'm on the YouTube as instructed. Appreciate you, Aaron.
Nice.
And as Jeff mentioned, that's our nonprofit, and all the money that we get around here goes to that nonprofit. And even if you're not able to contribute with a monetary donation, you can always help support this show a multitude of ways, and that is to go to an audio podcast, which is where the vast majority of our listeners live, is on the audio podcast. So if you would do us a favor and review the show there, give us the 5 stars on the Apple Podcast or whatever app you're listening to it on. Give us a rate and review, and then of course, if you're here on the YouTubes, hit the like button, please, and then make a comment. Not only as much as we love our chat room, but after the fact, if you could jump on there and make a comment on the YouTube feed, that always helps.
Yes.
But anyway, so all that stuff contributes to more exposure for the show, which equals more advertising. The more advertising, the more money, and the more money we give it away, because we give away 100% of it. So thank you all very much again for being here tonight. We appreciate you. And a lot to get to tonight, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Swag Jeff, what do you got for us here at the top of the show?
Absolutely. So each and every week, I take a significant moment within Raider Nation and relate it to the episode number. So, Murph, this week we are episode 241, and I got a couple things for you.
Okay.
And so I think we mentioned a couple weeks ago that our buddy Tom, or as I like to call him, Thom, he started sending some stuff to kind of assist Swag Jeff in some of the episode numbers.
Well, I'm glad you're taking it that way, and you're not taking it as that he's trying to take your job.
No, because
he's kind of moving in on your turf, but you're thankful for it.
I am thankful for it.
You're a good man, Jeff.
And it was a good one. It's a good episode number. But I knocked it out of the park this week.
Oh, nice.
And I'm
nice.
a humble ass guy. But
well, yeah.
It's good. This is going to be a fun one.
Okay.
So before we get into mine, I do want to say Thom sent in one. He says, David Osbury.
David Osbury, tight end, number 86.
Yes.
Out of USC.
Out of USC, was selected late in the 2011 draft.
Okay.
Al used to closely scout all of players from his favorite college.
Absolutely.
So it was nothing more to see than a guy that was a diamond in the rough that he could polish and turn into a star from his favorite university.
Great Madden player.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he believed that Osbury was that kind of guy. And in the 7th round, we picked him up. So 2 significant things about this pick.
Okay.
This pick was actually Al's last draft pick. not counting Terrell Pryor.
I was
which
just
going
to
to
say,
supplemental
yeah,
draft.
there you go. Terrell Pryor was official one. Yeah.
Absolutely. But it came from his favorite school. The other significant thing is that Osbury was selected as the only Raider ever under pick 241.
Wow, let's go, Thom.
Yeah, so thank you, Thom, for that.
Good job, buddy. Love that.
Absolutely.
Right on, man.
Absolutely. So now moving on to Swag Jeff 241.
All right, not to be outshined.
Not to be outshined.
Put the spotlight on you. You ready for your close-up?
I'm ready for my close-up. So this one, we are going all the way back to November 30th. Oh, my, please. I need a wide-angle lens, bruh. Yeah, zoom that thing out. So we are going all the way back to November 30th, 1969.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1969.
All right.
So we are 1 year removed from the famed Heidi game.
Yes.
So the Raiders and the Jets face off again a year later.
Okay.
It was a different year, but it was the same result. The Raiders are victorious, 27-14 in that game.
Nice.
The Raiders shut down Namath while the Mad Bomber threw for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns and added another one on the ground.
Oh, nice.
But this stat's a little bit different.
Okay.
You got to dig a little bit.
Okay.
And it can only be highlighted by the New York Times headline that was on December 1st, 1969.
Okay.
Raiders down Jets 27-14 in a rough game. LaMonica flips 2 scoring passes marked by 241 yards of penalties.
Whoa, dude.
241 yards of penalties. I'm gonna
unbelievable.
I'm gonna dim my camera right here so you can see the actual article.
Oh my gosh. And that's in the what? In the New York Times?
It was in the New York Times. Marked by 241 yards of penalties. And actually, if you scroll down just a little bit, I got like the actual clip.
Oh my
of it.
gosh. What a pull, Swag Jeff.
Yeah, man. That was
Nicely
a fun one.
done, dude.
That was a fun one.
That's the first time
man.
you've ever had a penalty yard stat and 204. Now that's back in the day. I believe that's before that. Yeah, there you go. Oh, nice. Okay. So for those of you on the audio podcast, Jeff is holding up the actual article from the New York Times. So if I'm not mistaken, and somebody in the chat room will know because they know more about football than we do. I believe back then that pass interference was not the spot of the foul. So like you didn't get like 60 yards worth of penalties in one play. So I believe that was still a 15-yarder back then or whatever it was. So you're talking about 241 yards of penalties. That's a lot of penalties. Did it say how many penalties were in the game?
No, it didn't say how many penalties there actually were. But
that's
241 yards of penalties.
Hey, Raiders going to Raider.
Raiders going to Raider, man, and we won. Just win, baby.
There you go, man. In the face of adversity, we do it anyways.
And I guess that was what? That was also John Madden's first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
1969.
1969, sure.
Absolutely.
Look at you, man. Dude, look at you, little wealth of knowledge over there.
Man, I do my thing.
Good job,
I do
Jeff.
my thing.
Good job, man.
I do my thing.
Give yourself some applause. Let's go some contact info.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me?
You want to email
me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-talk. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was. Good.
Oh, not bad. I was
all right.
I didn't know if we were going on the finger drop or the pause after the finger drop.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Well, no, it's okay.
No,
I wasn't holding the right fingers.
Well, hey, we had a quarterback in here last week, and he nailed it. He had the cadence.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true.
That's it. Neither one of us are quarterbacks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not quarterbacks for sure.
All right, hey, before we jump into respect, you're at the top of the show, Swag Jeff. Shout outs in the chat room tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of which, QB Jeff is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raiders in there. Paul is in there. Kill Jadis. Mr. Kano is in there. Kenny Blair is in there. Paul is in there.
Paul?
Big Easy. Wild West Raider is in there. Foxy Scorpio. Raiderborn Rico is in there. David Crockett. Raider 7D8. Let's see. Freddie Chavez, Fargo Raider, Lala Maloso's in there, Ebony Graves.
Oh my gosh, man. They're loaded up in the chat tonight, man.
Yeah, man.
Free agency. Everybody's fired up for free agency.
Everyone's fired up for free agency.
All right, so I got to tell you, so on the last YouTube show, we have our comment section there.
Sure.
And please make a comment after the show is over. I believe his name, if I'm remembering it right, I'm going off the top of my head, I'm not looking at it. I believe his name was Black Sunday Joel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And so when QB Jeff, who's in the chat, and who the quarterback I mentioned, our good friend Jeff Murphy from Domenico's, shout out Domenico's, and Group of Five Guys podcast, Jeff was in here, joined me in the fan cave, and so I read through this. It was really funny. So I read through some of the negative tweets that we get and some of the negative things about like Derek Carr.
Yeah,
did
you were calling people out. Yeah.
Calling people out. So Black Sunday Joel, like much respect, man, in the freaking comment section said we should start a new segment and call it the Sea of Pendejos.
I love that.
It's so funny, man.
I love that.
Look, I don't want to put people on blast every single week, but I will say this. You know how we used to do like Big Stupid? You know,
totally.
If we have one of those weeks, and right now we're kind of having one of those weeks because of all the craziness going on with free agency. Like, I don't know. How about the people that are saying Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels are doing a bad job and they're already a failure?
Right.
I'm like, guys, people were saying this yesterday. I'm like, we haven't even started free agency yet, and people are already calling their careers as Raiders failures.
But as of late, would you expect anything different?
No,
at
I
this
wouldn't.
Point?
It's social media.
I get it. Everyone is so sick of losing, and we want to win right now. But, and everyone was mad when we didn't get Devontae Adams right away. And, we see Khalil Mack go, come into our division, not playing for the Raiders and stuff. And everyone, well, what are they doing? What are they doing? Why couldn't we get those guys? Well, they got a different plan and they make a lot of money and we don't. So just shut up and enjoy the ride.
Just got to enjoy the ride. Root for the Raiders that are, not the Raiders that aren't. And look
exactly.
at it. And, it's like, think about this. Think about Corey Littleton, Nick Kwiatkowski, Carl Nassib, Kwiatkowski. Who's our guy? LaMarcus Joyner.
Right.
Let's think about all the high Tyre Whitehead. Let's think about all the high priced free agents that the Raiders have brought in, and how many of them are on the team now.
Right.
Like, remember all those times and everybody's all excited in free agency, including us, because we're suckers for this stuff.
Yep.
But easy with that. Now all that said, and before, and listen, this is the top of the show. We're going to get to respect here in a second, but I got to tell you, my heart as a Raider fan got a little dinged. You guys know me. I'm Captain Positive over here. Like, I'm always trying to find a silver and black lining in everything. When Khalil Mack got announced and that picture came out today of him holding up that freaking stupid powder blue uniform, that one dinged a little bit.
Yeah, that one hurts.
He's our guy. Like, I know he's not, and he hasn't been for a minute. And I understand why they moved on from him. I understand, you got to remember, it's not just, I know the draft picks didn't work out the way that we wanted, but Jeff and I looked at it the other day. They got $64 million guaranteed on the front end. It's all these kinds of things. I get it why and I don't begrudge the Raiders for doing what they did, but still, seeing him hold up that Chargers jersey.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, at least we'll know that he won't ever beat us because he's playing on the stupid Chargers.
Well, that's true too.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the Chargers are going to charge. And that's fine.
That's fine. And now we're loaded up to go get after Justin Aber there.
Yeah, we are
over there too, which will be sweet. So, anyways, all right. I digress. Let's get to some respect here at the top of the show. For those of you that always say, "We're going to talk about the Raiders." Well, there you go. We just talked about the Raiders. Now we're going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about wrestling because not only is it 316 days, we mentioned, so waterfall that beer in honor of Stone Cold Steve Austin and enjoy him coming up hopefully at WrestleMania this year. That's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Let's go Circle of Life, Jeff.
Do it.
I'm going to back up. Before we mourn and pay respect to the loss of the great Scott Hall, let's honor and respect the birth of the newest member of Raider Nation. Let's do that. Good friend of the show, Emiliano. You know him as the Big Raider Trucker. Longtime participant in this show. It's the reason that we name the Sizzler Award, the BRT Sizzler Award, is it's named after him, and because he won it so many dang times. Eventually, we just said, okay, you can't win it anymore, so we just named the award after him. So Emiliano and his lovely girl Steph, they had a baby, a Julian Ray. And so congratulations, much respect to you all, and you know, raise them right, raise them Raiders. You know, and so we welcome in Julian Ray to the world. And like I like to say, so it's Big Raider Trucker. Kid's name is Julian Ray, so it's Julian Raider Trucker. Like, let's go, dude.
Yes.
Let's go. Julian Raider Trucker. So
I love it.
Absolutely. So much respect to Emiliano and Stephanie. All right. Now let's get to Scott Hall. So shift gears a little bit, downshift a little bit, but I do want to honor the amazing legacy of Scott Hall. I wish Mosh was here because Mosh and I, this era of wrestling, of the NWO, the original incarnate of the NWO and whatnot, and the Outsiders, and when Scott and Kevin Nash made their famous transition over to WWE from WCW, WCW from WWE, it was one of the best times in wrestling. And there's been some great eras in wrestling, but the Monday Night Wars, this era, the late 90s, early 2000s, when all that was going on, was the absolute best. And the reason that I really want to lean into it is these guys were the Raiders of wrestling. Like,
oh, totally.
Like what we are to the NFL, the villains, the bad guys, the anti-hero, whatever you want to call it, that's what these guys were to wrestling. And so if you missed it, I wish you could have caught it live, and it's fun to go back even now and watch some of the highlights. It's the ultimate in theater, in character, in content, in wrestling ability. Like, it's fantastic. These guys were amazing. All the NWO, but especially Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. And so much respect and many condolences to Scott Hall, Scott Hall's family, and rest in peace, brother Scott. Man, he's certainly got taken too soon, and he will be missed. So I just got a couple little audio bites here to play for you. Here's WWE paying their honors to Scott Hall.
The WWE family is saddened by the passing of Scott Hall, the man who proved it's good to be the bad guy.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Upon leaving WWE in 1996, Scott Hall would make his way to WCW, where alongside Kevin Nash and the immortal Hulk Hogan, he would revolutionize sports entertainment with the NWO.
Going down there changed everything. Scott Hall was a pioneer.
We are taking over.
It just felt real. Felt you were getting something special.
Hey, yo, are you here to see
This was one of the best things that ever happened in the business.
When you're NWO, you're NWO for life.
The WWE family will forever remember Scott Hall as a gifted entertainer and two-time WWE Hall of Famer.
Hey, yo!
A loving father and a dear friend.
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Gives me chills, dude.
That's so awesome.
All right, there you go. For life there, Raider Nation. Absolutely. That's what we are. That's what the NWO was, man. And so, yeah, rest in peace to Scott Hall. And so, you know, one of the things we do around here after we hear from our buddy Paul, we always play 30 seconds of Paul, right, to like close out the segment. Well, since we're honoring Scott Hall here for respect, let's go with Scott Hall's famous catchphrase. When he started off every promo he ever did, he started it off with "Hey yo." So let's do 30 seconds and honor the great Scott Hall.
Hey yo, 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 hey yo,
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murph, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, appreciate everybody joining us live here tonight for episode number 241 of Raiders Fan Radio. Our buddy Kevin the Raider Nerd in there says, who all's going to the draft? I am. Are you going to the draft, Swag Jeff?
I am.
We're going to the draft, buddy. We're gonna have we're gonna have a good old time at the draft. Yeah, come holler at us, man. We really need to put together our plan for a meetup.
Yes.
So y'all go to.
Kevin did that last time, but he's kind of got something else going on that
sort
weekend
of getting
too.
married.
Yeah, he's sort of changing his life and marrying the love of his life. So we won't put him in charge of that. But let us know if you're coming to the draft and. Let's get together, man.
We got to get together. Let's use that. So Kevin's got a Facebook meetup. I believe this is called RFR Meetups. Raiders Fan Radio or Murph's Fan Cave RFR Meetup, something like that. You could just search for it. You guys know how to find us. Or even if maybe somebody could put a link in the chat, that'd be awesome. Definitely do that, and we'll go ahead and coordinate it through that Facebook group and get that set up. But we definitely want to find a meeting spot, a common area for us, not only as Raider fans, but as Raiders Fan Radio listeners and supporters and participants in this show. We have the best community in all of Raider Nation, let alone sports, if you ask me. And so it's always good to see our friends that we've gotten to know so much through the show. It's always amazing to get together face to face, whether that be tailgates or drafts or whatever. So let's set up a spot. It doesn't have to be anything big and crazy formal or anything, but let's just find like we did at the Rockstar Bar when we met up with the one that Kevin set up for us. So let's do something like that. Let's do that.
Yes.
We appreciate that. All right. And Aaron is in there. Kiljadis is in there. Bugsy Raiders in there. Seattle Nick. Tyrone Graves with another donation, $5 to Razor's Edge. One of the most devastating finishing moves. Absolutely, man. Ashton's in there. What's up, Ashton? Good to see you, buddy. Paul Edgerton is in there. Kevin the Raider Nerd is in there. Raider Critique is in there. Raider Jack is in there. And so we appreciate all of you so very, very much. All right, so let's talk about the first story on the list. And that is, I want to talk about the big extension that happened.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about his big old long arms that extend out when he goes and tackles quarterbacks, but I'm talking about the contract of number 98 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, but that is defensive end edge rusher Max Crosby.
The Condor.
The Condor. Huge, dude. A huge signing for us.
Yes.
Because, look, the Raiders were clearing out a lot of cap room, and, we've got some big names that were already on the team coming up. We've got Renfro coming up. We've got a car extension coming up. And, of course, we have Max Crosby that was coming up as well. And so the Raiders extended out to him a big deal.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of Raider Nation, and including us probably, we were waiting for the big free agent signing so far, and we did get a great one that we'll talk about here in just a minute. But the rest of the teams in our division are trying to become, this elite pass rushing team to get after each other and stuff like that. We already had that. We didn't need to go out and get a free agent.
That's right.
We already had Max Crosby, and we signed him perfectly to a $98.98 million deal.
That's so cool.
I mean,
was it 5 years, 4 years? I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was 5.
5?
I think.
We think for $100 million, you think it would be. Yeah. Okay, good deal. Yeah, so great stuff there. Glad to see that the Condor is going to stay in silver and black. Heck, he's got the ink to. he's official.
He's a Raider for life.
He's a Raider for life, whether he likes it or not, because he's got the shield inked on his arm.
Everyone's saying it's a 4-year deal.
Oh, 4-year deal. Okay. Well, even better. All right, so you go $25 million a year. Good for him, man. And so this, of course, comes on. He signs the deal on the 2-year anniversary of his announcement that he becomes not his announcement, but his commitment to sobriety.
Yes.
And,
yes.
that's, I'm telling you, man.
What a freaking reward.
how amazing! Like, what a blessing, dude. And Max will never hear our voices, but I will tell that young man, keep up the good work, man. Keep up that grind. Keep up that dedication to your faith and your study and your commitment to that sobriety. It clearly has been a massive blessing in your life, and it literally is paid off now. And so, which is just, it's so good to see.
Yep.
It's so good. Like, we joke about the bad guys. We joke about all that kind of stuff and Scott Hall and all that. Those are characters, right? And even like the Raiders of the 70s and being the bad guy, they're kind of like characters. But like for guys like Max, that's a good guy. To see good happen to a good guy, man, right on. He could be a bad guy on the field. Go beat up quarterbacks all day long.
And clearly he is, because he just signed a $100 million contract.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude on the field.
Be a bad dude on the field. Exactly right. So anyway, so much congratulations to him, and probably could have put him in the respect segment. And let's go ahead and check in and hear a couple sound bites. This is the Raiders announcing the extension.
I know in the last 2 years how much work I put in, how much sacrifice, so much growth, and everything I've been doing, and seeing it, paying off. Obviously this is just the beginning of where I want to be, but it's an incredible, gesture from the team, and I'm just fired up to, get back in the playoffs and continue chasing a ring. I'm so excited to be back. There's no other place on earth I'd rather be. We're going to keep going crazy, so I'm excited, keep representing Raider Nation and, lead these guys.
Oh, I love that there, Swaggo. He says, what obviously he's committed to playing well. Obviously committed to his craft, as we just mentioned. But I love what he just said. I'm going to lead these guys.
Yeah, dude.
You know what a sucker we are for leadership around here.
Totally,
that's
man.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, we need leaders on this team, and these younger guys are stepping up and becoming the backbone of this team. I mean, that's so cool. We love to see that. And and it was funny. He talked about all the sacrifices he's made over these last couple years and stuff like that. It kind of made me think. So, the COVID world that we lived in for the last few years, and how difficult that was and stuff like that. And a lot of babies were born around this time, and these babies have had such a hard time acclimating to like social things and stuff like that because they were social distance and stuff like that.
Sure.
Well, you had all these COVID babies. Well, he was a part of a COVID draft. He's just after his rookie year, he gets blasted into COVID and stuff like that, and so he's having to do all this at-home training and stuff like that. So
that's a great call
to
out,
see
Jeff.
this guy grow the way that he has without some of these vets that these elite players, including number 55 that we just signed, Chandler Jones. These guys, they were seasoned and all that stuff. Well, Max had to do it a little bit different way, and to see him exceed expectations the way that he has is freaking legit.
Great call out, Jeff. Great call out, man. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about the free agents that have signed here in a minute, but man, I'm telling you, look, go ahead, Russ. Go ahead, Denver. You have Russ. We'll take the Condor and 55 coming off the edges,
Yep.
Dude,
Russ was running out of Seattle to try to get away from Chandler Jones, and he followed him. That's the most Raider move ever.
Amen. I love it. All right, so if just in case you need a refresher, and if you're listening to this show, clearly you don't, because you're dyed in the wool and bleed silver and black just like we do. But just in case you needed a refresher on why somebody like Max Crosby got paid the way that he did, let's check back in with some 2021 highlights.
Andrews against Casey Hayward, bottom of the screen.
Looked like Lamar wanted to push it down the field, and he'll be taken down. Max Crosby.
Bridgewater is decked. Max Crosby, one of the first to get there for Las Vegas.
Tight coverage on the outside. You can see Bridgewater with his eyes trying to scan the field.
First time as a head coach. Bridgewater in trouble, and he's sacked. And it's the combination of Jefferson and Crosby. Pressure's coming. Bridgewater in trouble, and he is sacked. Jefferson and Crosby.
Just into Vegas territory. Lock. Running out of time, and he goes down.
A lot of Denver quarterbacks hitting the turn.
That's what I was just about to say, man.
Keeps working, finally gets to Drew Lock and puts him on the ground. This was a slow developing play downfield.
They bring 4. Burrow will go down. Sacked by Max Crosby.
Max Crosby sets it up with this move, but watch Corey Littleton, bang! Comes in on this stunt, hits the tackle, allows Max Crosby to loop inside and get the sack.
All right, there we go, man. Good
That's
stuff.
so good. I mean, all you got to do is insert. Russell Wilson hangs onto the ball too long and down goes. It's Max Crosby again for the fourth time today.
Dude, let's go. Get them big arms swinging and knock that ball loose, man. All right, so so one more thing on Max. He's, we talked about all this commitment that he's had and all this improvement. And again, a great call out there by Jeff about his work through COVID season. And listen, this guy, it's constant state of improvement, man. It's what we need to do as people, and it's what we need to do whether you got a physical craft, a mental craft, or otherwise. As Uncle Mosh always says, fish stop swimming, they die. So let's check in with Max and how he's going to continue to get better.
I know the work comes first, so and I got a responsibility to the whole fan base. I feel like I'm just getting started of where I can be. I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to be one of the guys that, you look back and you think about Raiders, all-time Raider greats. I want to be one of those guys. So, it's a responsibility for me to show up every day and be, the first guy in the building and continue to get better. Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
This is Trent Sig, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murph, Swag Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Just win, baby.
All right, appreciate all of you checking us out here for episode number 241 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate Adam Hill, Bugsy Raider, Paul Edgerton, Raider Critique is in there, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Raider Jack, Fargo Raider, Crew Joe is in there. Let's see, Ebony Graves is in there, Michelle Sweat is in there. Appreciate all of you. Seattle Nick is in there, B-Al. Appreciate all of you that support us by joining us on the chat room here at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And you can find us every week at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 Eastern. So definitely check us out. All right, so we mentioned Chandler Jones, so let's go ahead and just jump into some of these free agent signings here. So Chandler Jones signs a 3-year deal that's effectively worth $51 million, so big money, but big production coming from this man. He's had a very tenured career in the NFL, most recently coming over from the Arizona Cardinals, but for those of you that remember, his prior career was with the New England Patriots. So once again, more Patriot connections here coming along for the Raiders. But listen, Swag mentioned it. Like Russ Wilson left the NFC West looking to get away from Chandler Jones, and here's why. Chandler Jones has sacked Russell Wilson 16.5 times in his career. The only player to sack a single quarterback more in the past 10 seasons is Cam Jordan, who's got to Matt Ryan 23 times. So you're talking about massive production against a player. And so I'll take that with him on one side and freaking Max on the other. Dude, that's legit,
I wonder
bro.
if that was like an incentive in the signing. Like, I wonder if they sought out this guy because all these other people were recruiting Chandler Jones, including the New England Patriots. They wanted him bad.
Oh,
they had
really?
all their players tweeting at him and stuff like that.
Really?
Come to New England, come to New England, come to New England. And he chose to come to the Raiders. So
No
I wonder
kidding.
if it was unfinished business with him and Russ, or if it was the Raiders were like, okay, you got that guy. Okay, we'll go get your kryptonite. No problem.
I love it, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, go ahead and double team him and watch what happens.
Right.
Or double team Max. Like, who are you going to double? In fact, I even think I saw someone in the chat say that.
Yep.
Like, who are you going to freaking double team?
Yep. And who was the interior guy we just picked up?
I have that right here. So we got Bilal, I believe you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Nichols. He signs a 2-year deal for $11 million. So in his short 4-year career, he's got 11 sacks and 31 hits coming from the interior, which what our buddy QB Jeff always says, that pressure up the middle, that's how you really can disrupt a quarterback.
Right.
They don't like big guys falling around at their feet. It moves you off the spot, as they say.
Right.
Moves you off the spot. It gives you some weird throwing angles. And, of course, you got guys like Mahomes and whatnot that can do well on the move. Even Derek Carr does a fantastic job of throwing on the move. But the bottom line, though, they don't like to have those 300-pound men out there falling around their feet. So, so great call out there, and hopefully we'll see. Look, and here's another thing around that before I move on, before I finish off on Chandler Jones. we have every defensive tackle as a free agent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of them. Jefferson, Thomas, McCoy. Like, I mean, every single one of them is a freaking, I think there's 5 of them, and every single one of them is a free agent. So the Raiders had to make some moves at defensive tackle. So welcome Bilal Nichols to the team. So finish up on Chandler Jones. Here's what I like about him. I'm not comparing him to Khalil Mack. Save your comments. But what I am saying is that I've said a lot about what Khalil Mack was when he was in the silver and black. He was our closer.
Yes.
He was the guy that when it was 3rd and 7 in the fourth quarter, he's the guy that would come up with the sack. He's the guy that would come up with the pick to run it off of Cam Newton and run it in the end zone. He was the guy that when the game was on the line, when Aaron Donald gets to Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl to close it out for the Rams, that's what Khalil Mack did for us when he was in silver and black. I always called him the closer.
And that's what Chandler Jones is going to do.
Absolutely. And so when you look at who's another closer in the league, Von Miller, that's literally what he's been known for his whole career. Well, listen to this. In the last 2 full seasons, in comparing Von Miller and Chandler Jones, so I'm talking about the last 2 full years, so not the 2020 season, but 2019 and 2021. Von Miller has had 17.5 sacks, 37 quarterback hits, and 5 forced fumbles.
Okay.
Chandler Jones, 29.5 sacks, 52 quarterback hits, and 14 forced fumbles.
There you go.
Let's go. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need somebody that's highly disruptive.
Right.
And when the game is on the freaking line, no more of these Ryan Fitzpatrick 3rd and 14 Hail Marys, face getting twisted off. You know what I mean? No more Arden Key. No more of that stuff. Now we got a guy that's going to go in there and blow up the quarterback and close the game out for him.
Yeah, well, totally. Well, and you look back at the stats. So going back to 2012, Chandler Jones has the most sacks in the NFL since 2012. And I think that's it's like 107.5 sacks or something like that since 2012.
Oh my God.
And I mean it's unreal. It's unreal. So yeah, I mean, and we got this guy. I feel like it's kind of a bargain. So I think we were just talking about it right before showtime, but like it's not a horrible deal.
No, it's $51 million. It's an average annual value of $17 million a year. Like that's for somebody that's that kind of capable.
Yes,
somebody that's that kind of.
And then So you look at a deal like that and what we get out of that, and then you look at what Buffalo just did. Buffalo just signed Von Miller for a 5-year deal. 6-year deal for $120 million.
That's bananas,
like,
dude.
What? Like, okay, give me Chandler Jones 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah, only thing is that he's a little bit older. Like and of course we traded off Yannick Ngakoue, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Yep.
Traded him, and I think that Chandler Jones is a couple years older even than Von Miller, but not by much. So Von Miller, Chandler Jones, 32 years old. 3-year deal takes him to 35. That's about right where you want to be.
Yep.
Not Von Miller. 6 years. Good luck.
He's going to be 40 when that deal's up.
He'll never see the end of that deal. No. Never see the end of that.
Totally
deal.
not. Well, and so I don't watch typically a whole lot of. I mean, I watch football and stuff like that, but when the Raiders are on, it's all I'm watching.
Sure,
I don't really pay attention to a whole lot of other teams. I'll have it on and be drinking all the beer and all that stuff. But so the first week of the season, this past season, the Raiders were on Monday Night Football. So I got to kind of dig in a little bit, and I got to watch some of these, some of the other games. So, we're in Middle Tennessee, so we get all the Titans games. So week 1 of this year.
You steal my DirecTV, so you watch all the games on your phone.
Well, I know. I honestly just use it for Raiders.
You really do?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I watch it like just a poor person, whatever. Like I don't get the deluxe package like you get.
Gosh,
but,
Jeff, wait a shame.
Jeez. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, we can't all be rich like Murph getting the Sunday ticket package. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm Von Miller just signed for 6 years, 100, and he's exact same age as Chandler Jones. I just looked. He's 32 years old.
Oh well, there you go.
Unbelievable.
There you go. Okay, so I got to watch Chandler Jones destroy Taylor Lewan and Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, yes.
We got to watch. He sacked Tannehill that game 5 times. 5 times.
Alone?
5 times. Yes.
By himself.
5 sacks he started the year with. Like, this dude can wreak havoc in a backfield. Like,
Unbelievable, man. That's
holy
awesome.
cow.
That's awesome. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. That's going to be one of the more exciting pass rush duos we've seen. And look, and that's no disrespect to Yannick Ngakoue. Had a great career in the brief year that he was here.
And he's a Raider.
He's a Raider.
That guy's
he
a
liked
Raider.
being a Raider. He liked being a Raider. And so, of course, the Raiders trade him now because they don't need him. You're not going to have 3 edge rushers going at the same time. Certainly not that high-priced ones. So the Raiders trade Yannick Ngakoue to the Colts for Rock Ya-Sin. Just prior to that, we acquired Darius Phillips on a 1-year deal, $2.25 million. Mainly going to be a returner. That's going to get Hunter Renfrow out of the line of fire there on returns, is what that's going to do. So he's going to be a depth guy at corner at best, but probably it will be starting corner for us. Could be our number 1 starter. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's like Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
Maybe get Hayward back. You never know where this is going to go. But Rock Ya-Sin.
Where did Gus Bradley go? Did he go to Indianapolis?
No. Where did he go? He went to somebody in the chat room tell us, because there's a connection there, because somebody with the Raiders went back to somebody that came over for Gus went to go play somewhere else because they followed Gus again or wanted to follow Gus again. Is it Ngakoue? No, it's somebody else.
No,
but do you think Hayward's going to do the same thing?
Yeah. Everyone's saying, he did go to, he went to Indy.
He went to Indy. Okay.
So I would imagine that Casey Hayward will probably end up in Indy.
Okay.
And,
thank you, chat room. See, they know more about
so will a number 8, maybe.
Oh, well, we'll get to that. All right.
We'll get
to that. So let's talk about Rock Ya-Sin. So Rock Ya-Sin, the cornerback that we did acquire in this acquisition.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Faison went to.
Faison
went to Indy.
Went to Indy as well. Okay. All right. So there we go. So I knew there was a couple connections in there. And again, see, I said at the top of the show, chat room knows more about football than we do. See, we're just the 2 schmucks that turn on the microphones. Okay, so back in 2019, so this is January 23rd, 2019, I went to the Senior Bowl, Jeff.
Oh, you did?
I was the first ever credentialed media trip I ever took.
Wow.
Was to Mobile, Alabama for the Reese's Senior Bowl. And the reason I went was because that was the year the Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers coaching staffs were coaching the 2 teams. They have a North and a South team.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Raiders were coaching the team. So I went down there, and I'll save you my whole story about it because I've told it on the show numerous times. I had a chance to meet a lot of the coaches and met Mike Mayock, and a lot of NFL people and whatever. It was great. Only 2 people were jerks. Drew Rosenhaus and somebody that works for the Raiders. I won't call him out. Eddie. We got prime time, 2 people. Anyway, so down there was an amazing experience. Met with Ted Wynn down there. Met with Alexis Stabler down there. I had a great time down there. Also had a really cool opportunity to pick the brains of all these scouts and all these like people like Ted, who's a film pro, absolutely a genius at breaking down film. Had a great time, checking in with him and kind of getting his vibe on who some of the players were he was looking at or whatever. And I'll give you a great example. His favorite player, Ted Wynn, look him up on Twitter. He's a great dude, been on the show numerous times. Ted Wynn's favorite player in that draft, Deebo Samuel, or at Senior Bowl.
Oh,
Deebo Samuel.
Well, yeah.
He couldn't have picked a better guy out of here.
Totally.
Now, his best cornerback, you want to guess who it was?
I'm going to say it's Rock Ya-Sin.
And you would be right. And I got my notes.
Oh.
I got my notes that I took here.
Wow.
From Ted. This is back. So here they are. So this is back from, look, right? So you even see it, for those of you that are on the YouTubes there. See how I got it highlighted?
Oh.
See, Ted's best player is Deebo Samuel, and then look at his best corner is Rock Ya-Sin right there. So I thought it would be fun to draft him because I thought it'd be cool for us to say, we will rock you. Well, now we can say, we can go, we will rock you. But Rock Ya-Sin, so this is the scouting report on him. So those of you that aren't familiar with his what he does, and it's his scouting report has held true to what he does in the NFL and what he's done with the Indianapolis Colts. Rock Ya-Sin has a natural feel for timing with the ball skills to make a play as the pass arrives. He entered the week as the top corner in Mobile, and so far he has lived up to that with his tough-minded approach. Rock Ya-Sin and Deebo Samuel both scored victories in one-on-one situations. The Temple cornerback stands 6'2", 190, and shows toughness with the ability to press wide receivers early in their routes. He's not going to give up much in cushion and stays alert for the ball when it's in the air. Although he's coming out of a non-powerhouse program, which is Temple, Yasin likely earned more money in Mobile after a solid matchup against Samuel, who is arguably the most overall impressive prospect during Senior Bowl week. Furthermore, Rock Ya-Sin is a confident cover man. I love this. And this is music to Raider Nation's ears.
Yep.
Listen to this. He can talk while locking down a receiver, per NFL Network's John Ledyard. He possesses ideal size for a cornerback. He displayed his ball skills, and he also brings the mindset he needed to excel on the professional level. And then dude goes and runs a 4.51 at the combine. He's 6 feet tall. He's got speed. He can play man up. Like, this might be the underrated signing for us, or trade, whatever you want to call it. Acquisition.
Yep.
Underrated acquisition for us. Everyone's fired up about Chandler Jones, and you should be. Everyone's going to be fired up about if we ever get Davante Adams, and you should be. But let's watch this one. Watch this one be the one, because this is the guy that's going to cover long enough to let Chandler Jones and let freaking Max Crosby get in there and work and get to Russ and put him on his ass. Like, that's what's up, dude. I love this acquisition. I think it's great.
Absolutely. And if you don't like it, it doesn't matter if you don't like it.
That's the best. That's the best. All right. So there we go. So there's kind of our recent acquisitions here. I know there's a lot more coming. I know there's a lot more in the works.
Man, yeah. I'm getting fired up, man, because we still got a lot of money to spend, dude.
There's a lot of money left, and I don't know what the math is after our signings here, but you're right. We got a lot of space left. I mentioned Davante Adams. Who are some of the others off the top of your head? We're seeing a lot of names out there.
Yeah, Allen Robinson. I think you know, if you don't get a deal done to trade to go get Devontae, Allen Robinson's your guy. I think Chark has signed a deal.
He did. Yep.
I think he
Chark's
signed. He's off the board. So Robinson's your guy. You know, if he's not, you got Juju that's still around, I think. So
he'd be a better number one than number one we got now, which is no one.
Which
speaking of that, dude, can Derek Carr get someone else paid more? Bruh, Zay Jones? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he got a freaking 3-year, $30 million. And what we say, like 18 guaranteed or something like that? Like, this dude got paid for showing up, at the crack ass of dawn with Derek Carr at the freaking, at the freaking facility. Like,
unbelievable, man.
Okay.
That's crazy. Like, I got it when Aguilar got paid, but I know Zay Jones had a good year, but whatever. I don't want to criticize a man or his money or his craft. Like, that's not what we're gonna do right here. But it just seriously, like, for everybody that tells us how bad Derek Carr is, he sure keeps getting people paid.
Yep, totally. Totally, absolutely, and some other guys that have kind of just come available. Robert Pena in the chat, and a couple other people. Tyrone Graves said Julio, and I don't
know. I'm kind of
look.
I like the name.
I like the name, and I would like it for very little money.
Prove it deal kind of thing.
He was, I think because we looked it up, we were talking about Devontae and his franchise tag and stuff like that. He was getting like $25 million a year or something like that. And so, so he's available, but it would go considerably down because the guys can't stay healthy. So, that's possible. Landry, I think, is another one that might still be around.
What is Cleveland doing, man? Getting rid of Jarvis Landry?
I don't know. And it looks like Baker's about to walk and all that stuff.
Gosh, man, that's crazy, man. This has been every free agent period and every offseason is wild. But man, this has been a pretty crazy one. And it's funny to me too, because like they're all kind of like this, like they all kind of have it, but for some reason it feels like everyone's spun up a little bit more on this one. Maybe it's social media, I'm not sure, but I will say this. I'm not seeing anyone's mock drafts right now. Thank God. Yes, can we watch free agency play out before we start doing mock drafts? Mm-hmm. It's so funny because they're like, I see so many articles or even tweets and stuff. People are like, well, the Raiders still, what are they going to do at wideout? What are they going to do at wideout? And there's nothing wrong with what we just did, I don't think, and talking about some of the potential still, but we might draft somebody. That's still on the table. We just talked about Chris Olave and all these other guys. There's a lot of players to draft still too. So even so I just say this, Raider Nation, don't get all wadded up if we don't address a particular position in free agency, because we got a whole draft to do that. So like we got a long way to go through this thing. So don't start giving out grades and this off season's a failure and just freaking slow down, man. We just got to watch it and root for it for what it is. And right now,
totally.
It's great. Hey, Chandler Jones, let's go. That's money freaking pick. And we know that's solid. So anyway, so let's lean into that. All right. So all the guys making these decisions at the top, of course, you know about Dave Ziegler. We know about Josh McDaniels, but also they're getting a lot of input from their coordinating staff. And we've talked a lot about Patrick Graham already. One guy we hadn't even mentioned at all, barely on the show, was Mick Lombardi. So Mick Lombardi comes in. He is Mike Lombardi's son, who I falsely stated last week or week before, whenever it was, that they're part of the Lombardi family tree. They're not of the Vince Lombardi family tree, different Lombardis. But Mick is Mike Lombardi's son, and Mike was a longtime personnel, I don't remember what his title is, whatever it was, for the Raiders, and ended up kind of being a Raider hater. He's kind of a guy that I call out sometimes, Lombardi, on some of his statements around the Raiders, because I think he had a case of the ass for Al, because Al fired him. But anyways, one way or the other, Mick Lombardi grew up at the Oakland Coliseum with the Raiders, and so upon his hiring, he had this to say about that nature, about growing up as a Raider.
My family does have a long tie to the Raider family, Raider organization, which has been a unique experience here now. I grew up a Raider. My father and my mom, my brother, if you ask them, what organization was most impactful during our time as a family, you probably would say the Raider organization. So, obviously my time with the Patriots was unbelievable. I can't thank Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft, and the organization enough for my time there. But, when Josh had the opportunity to come out here and interview, I was happy for him. Still was focused on my job in New England. And then obviously when this opportunity came where he wanted to interview me for this position here, very excited. I know it was a long process. He interviewed some great people. And then when the time came for me to come out here, I was very excited and very blessed to be part of this organization, Mr. Davis, and everybody involved here. So it's a special time. Obviously, it's not the Bay Area. It's Las Vegas, which is different. If it was in Oakland, it'd be kind of a really, really unique experience. But we're excited to be here. The city's been unbelievable. People have been great. And you can really feel the energy of people here want the Raiders to be a great, top-notch team for a long time. And it's an exciting time.
I love it, man. I love the passion, love the enthusiasm, man. And, I'm a fan of these legacy hires. Like, as much as this has been like a very Patriot kind of thing going on, I love it when they bring people into the organization that are familiar with the history of the organization and have seen it firsthand. And clearly we're seeing that with Mick Lombardi. So, okay, so it's one thing, though, to hear us tell you that we're excited about this hire. But what about the nuts and bolts of it? What about the X's and O's of it? What is this guy going to bring to the table? We know that Josh McDaniels, just like John Gruden is your de facto offensive coordinator. This guy is not going to be out there game day calling plays. That's going to be McDaniels. But what did Greg Olson do for Gruden? Evaluate, dissect, strategize. Those are the kind of break down tendencies, all that kind of stuff. I think that's what Mick Lombardi is going to bring to the table. And he learned from one of the best. Now, again, save me your freaking comments about this, but look, we are infused with a spirit of the Patriots right now. And it's okay, because we're going to make it's a Raider thing now. It's not a Patriot thing anymore. But their legacy, these guys' history, was built on that Patriot thing. And it's okay, because they won 1 million Super Bowl trophies. It's all right that we're doing it this way. So let's check in with Bill Belichick. We've never played a Bill Belichick quote on this show before, but listen to Belichick and listen to him. He's pretty much the most boring ass, mundane soundbite at a press conference you could ever come across, but in his own way is basically rhapsodizing about the greatness, or what he thinks of what the good that Mick Lombardi brings to the table.
Mick was here. I've known Mick literally since he was born in Cleveland, and have watched him develop as a person and as a coach, and have followed him from from college to the 49ers to the Jets and here, and he's been and here in personnel and here in coaching, and he's worked in quality control and the receivers and a passing game. But has a great football background, both in personnel and in coaching, which is extremely valuable, similar to, Josh, who started in personnel, started on personnel to defense to offense. Again, Mick has a great breadth of knowledge and is very detailed and I think does a great job with individual fundamental instruction as well as overall understanding schemes and personnel talent evaluations and matchups of receivers against defensive backs as well as patterns against coverages and all that. So young coach that really has a lot on the ball. Good energy every day. Does really done a good job for me.
Love it, man. What a reigning endorsement there.
Yeah, totally. And I'm so excited to see these two guys that have kind of similar roles that Gruden and Olsen had. But and Michelle said she that needed a trigger warning because whenever you brought up Greg Olsen, her eyes started twitching. So, but it's cool because, they evaluate people the right way. But when you watch New England play, they could beat you in all these different ways.
Yeah,
and we've talked about it a lot that, they play to whoever their opponent is. So, hey, if this is the weak link over here, we're going to highlight that and all that. Where Gruden and Olsen's meetings lasted about 22 seconds and it was like, same as last week? Good. Right on.
Got it, yeah.
We read.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's
look for Waller, look for Renfro. If Ruggs is deep, let one fly. If not, throw it in the dirt.
Throw it in the dirt. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. All right, yeah, so good stuff there. So look, it's Belichick, but hey, we'll take a reigning endorsement of our current staff. All right, now moving to the other side of the ball. This guy has become quickly, at least my favorite. I'll speak for myself. He's my favorite new member of the coaching staff. He's Patrick Graham. I love coaches that really get into the weeds on stuff and don't give you coach speak. And we heard from Belichick there. Belichick is not very known for getting into the weeds on a thing, especially on again, rhapsodizing about a particular guy and what he does. Mostly it's coach speak. So I love it when a coach gets into the weeds. And that's what Patrick Graham, our new defensive coordinator, does. So I've got a couple of sound bites from him. Although we've already featured a bunch from him. Like I said, he's my favorite, so whatever. I got the button, so I'm going to push it. All right, let's check in with Patrick Graham talking about how when it comes down to blocking one-on-one, if we don't win one-on-one, then what are we doing?
The interior part of the line, what you're looking for, is real hard. If those guys can get blocked one-on-one, we're going to have a problem. Now, we talk about the whole defense. Nobody should be able to get blocked one-on-one. It's hard enough to play defense in this league, but if they could go one-for-one with the blocking, then we have to commit extra people, whether it's for the run. It then becomes a problem now, again, because it is a passing league. So I would say this, when I talk to those guys, we have to be able to win one-on-one block situations. So how do we win those? Playing with good pad level. Strike, using our hands, getting our hands in front of our eyes, playing with extension, being able to ID where the ball is without jumping out of your gap, and then be able to escape blocks. So whether it's a size thing, the different parameters you have for a guy's length and all, if they could do that stuff for us here at the Raiders, what Josh is looking for, we'll be fine. Be able to play with some pad level, get some knockback, play with extension, find the ball, and get off a block, and not get blocked one-on-one, they'll find a place here. I promise you that.
I love it, man. So he's basically referencing the playing time. Look, if you can do that, then you're going to get plenty of playing time. And I love I like, again, you love how he's kind of breaking it down strategically and what he's going to do with the guys. Shout out some of the comments in the chat. Ray Love in there says, salute. Right back at you, brother. Let's see. Chasing Gorditas. Murph and Swag. If McDaniels wins a Super Bowl with the Raiders, it will be his greatest and probably his favorite trophy due to him winning it as a head coach. I agree.
Totally.
That's a great call out there. Chasing Gorditas. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider says, RFR drafted 22 in Las Vegas will be sponsored by Don Julio and Yeho.
I said I'll bring the Tylenol.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Please do. All right, let's get to one more from Patrick Graham. This, again, I love it because not only is he willing to get into the weeds on stuff, but he's very matter of fact. Like, you know, every coach loves their scheme and their strategy and all that kind of good stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to have players. So listen to this.
The thing I want good players. You give me good players, I'm good. Whether I work with them before or not, I mean, I trust our coaches. I trust my ability to coach and teach. I mean, give us good players. We'll be good to go. And, you know, we'll do our best. So the guys that are here, the guys that are going to be here, I'll take those guys. I don't need a requirement of guys from the past. We don't need any of that. We just want good football players who buy into the team concept and the concept that Josh is putting forward there in terms of how he wants this team to look.
I love that, man. It was one of my favorite quotes in terms of leadership study is that, you know, strategy eats culture for breakfast. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. You can have the most brilliant scheme, plan, strategy, whatever. If you don't have the people to pull it off, and I'm talking about any kind of an institutional, from a company to a sports team to a church, whatever. If you don't have the people to pull off the vision, then it doesn't matter. You can come up with the biggest, craftiest, funkiest thing in the world.
Totally.
And that's exactly, I think, what Patrick Graham is saying there is that, I need good players. Give me good guys that can see the vision, that can execute the vision, and we'll be fine. I love that. And I love that spirit around him and look forward to what he's going to do for us as a defensive coordinator. You got anything on that before we hit a break?
Nope.
All right, then.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murph and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
Fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He's thrown. It is. He caught it.
All right, we appreciate everybody that's joining us in the chat room tonight. Kevin the Raider Nerd is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Raider Jack, Schmucky the Raider Bear, the Raider Critique is in there. Crew Joe is in there. Tyrone Graves is in there. Paul Edgerton. Paul? Let's see. Ron the Mater Raider holding it down in there. Dune Dude 23 is in there. We appreciate you, Dune Dude, for jumping in there. It's a new name. Seattle Nick is in there. Corey Burham is in there. Chronicles of the Black Hole, that's our buddy Daniel is in there. And the Raider Den, Robert Pena, Chasing Gorditas, Ray Love. There's so many good folks in there. Michelle Sweat, and we appreciate you very, very much for joining us here for episode 241 of Raiders Fan Radio. So you could be a participant here with the show a multitude of ways. You can join us live like these folks have at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, or you can call the show at 909-345-3346. And if we play your message 3 times, we will refer to you as a made man or a made woman, or you can email the show an indefinite amount of times, and we will refer to you as the same, a made man or a made woman. And so Swag Jeff has got the email honors tonight. Swaggo, who do we got?
Absolutely. So, hello, Raiders Fan Radio. Murph, Uncle Mosh, Capo, the multiverse of Jeffs. How's your week been? Mine's been accumulating. So this last episode, I was a made man again. Thanks for the respect, Murph. It's much appreciated. I was originally made a made man on November 1st, 2018 on episode 101, about an hour and 13 minutes into the show. Wow, he did his research.
Wow, and let me comment on that real quickly. So Jack, I thought you were made, but I went back and looked through the list when we heard from him last, and I was like, oh, he's not on there. So I'm like, we got to make sure we make him. Well, there was that infamous shredding incident here in the fan cave of 2020. Totally. And I had to recreate the made man and the made women list almost by memory. And so there were some names that got left off of there due to no fault of anybody else's but mine because of that error that we had there in accounting. Yeah. Remember that whole, it was Tom Hanks was involved. It was a mess.
Yeah,
but anyway,
it was crazy.
But anyway, so congratulations on being made again. And now I've got you on the list. And anybody else that's listening to this, if we've missed you, like when we do our rundown of the made men and made women, if I ever miss you, it's not because we don't love you. It's because the shredding incident. So
yeah, totally.
There you go.
Let's see. I believe it was a Halloween.
Shred it, bro.
I believe it was a Halloween episode of sorts. You can tell because if you watch the stream, Uncle Mosh is dressed as, well, Rob Ryan, circa 2008 maybe. The Raiders shirt he was wearing was a dead giveaway, and it looked just like Rob Ryan as per normal. Murph, my man, was dressed as Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas, or Jerry Jones. Maybe he was the ghost of Cleveland Farrell's future with the team. I can't tell. They all look alike.
I was actually Diablo from Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't tell. They all look alike.
Nerd alert.
Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me say this too. I'm gonna sidebar again.
Okay,
I said we're gonna be 15 or 20 minutes. No, we won't be 30 because we talk a lot. So Uncle Mosh and I decided to do a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So Uncle Mosh is a theater instructor or director.
Yeah.
So we do costumes. We do full on costumes. He's dressed up like Gandalf. I've got the Diablo from Suicide Squad from the first movie. I've got that. We've got spider webs everywhere. We've got black lights. We've got it's decked out in here. It's like if Michelle Sweat, if you ever saw that, it would have been your favorite episode we ever did ever. Like 6 people watched it. So we haven't done that since.
Well.
But Jack got made.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He loved that show. he loved that show. Jack in Oregon is what Murph called me back then. It was a fun show. Hell, I remember what I was doing when I called in. I was driving to Seattle to see my girlfriend back when I lived in Albany, Oregon. I'm starting to realize I preach the same thing all the time. Be patient and be patient and back the silver and black. So this week, starting Thursday, Colt Miller and Kenyon Drake took a pay cut, clearing $14.5 million in cap room. Either they're good team players or they heard Khalil Mack was going to the Chargers and wanted to save their asses. Alec Ingold, now an RFA. Maybe they'll re-sign him. Maybe they won't. Probably won't. Maybe I don't get it. I get an ACL tear, but the guy was still a team captain. We haven't made much movement, though, through free agency. Truth is, I think we're still going to go after Devontae Adams.
I don't think Green Bay franchised to sign him. I think they did that to get trade picks to get worth for him, to stop him from just hitting the free market. I keep hearing how we were handing free agency half-assed and not aggressive enough from the talking heads about the league. Oh, yet while they keep talking, I was trying to figure out where the hell they got the idea.
Uncle Mosh is hitting himself with Michelle's tin. Now he's hitting himself in it. Jeez, Uncle Mosh is about down.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Hey, welcome
yes.
Welcome to the show, the one and only Uncle Mosh.
Yeah.
How are you, Mosh? Oh my gosh. Ron the Raderator says, did I just do drugs?
Nice. Nice.
Oh my gosh, I wish I did.
All right, Mosh, we'll let you settle in there, Swag. Go ahead and finish up that email.
Yeah, I'll finish up this email. I'm going to give you these other two, Mosh. Right there you go. Let's see here. The truth is, I still think we're going to go after Devontae Adams. I don't think Green Bay franchised him to sign him. I did think that they looked to trade picks. So to get what's worth for him to stop just hitting the free market. I keep hearing how we're handling free agency half-assed and not aggressive enough from the talking heads around the league. Yet, while they keep talking, I still am trying to figure out where the hell they got that idea that we actually cared about that. We got our staff in place in the name of all things Al Davis. Give them a week to sort out our current staff and make trades and free agency changes. It reminds me of a great joke Coach Ditka once said. What's the difference between a 3-week-old puppy and a sports writer? In 6 weeks, the puppy stops whining. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. That and Tom Brady is starting to get towards Brett Favre status with this retirement fake-out stuff. I wish he would just stay away. Much love to the nation. RFR. Raider Jack in Everett, Washington. Seattle, formerly Albany, Oregon, whatever. And then he follows up.
Oh, okay. All right.
He follows up. He goes, I guess I wasn't patient enough today. We went from nothing to a happy transaction, happy club today. Chandler Jones coming in. Rock Ya-Sin for Yannick Ngakoue. Kenny Moore would have been better, but whatever. We have to shore up defensive end again. Rock Ya-Sin tends to get hurt, too, from what I recall. I think he only started 8 games each in his last 2 seasons. Bad ankles and hip. Yeah, good going trying to shore up cornerback on our secondary. Then again, he could come back the man of steel and start. We gave Yannick for this. And at this point, our O-line is still as thin as my patients are. Kind of feels like we're running into a wall with... feels like we're running into a wall with an erection and breaking my nose. Hey. Good news is that I've made through the day without beating this Buccaneers fan with a steel chair so far. I don't know if I'll make it. I'll let you know tonight. I promise nothing. Oh, and of interest of pro wrestling, God rest Scott Hall of the NWO who passed on this Monday.
Yo.
Much love, Raider Nation. Two-time made man, Raider Jack in Everett.
Nice job, Raider Jack.
Good job, Jack.
Awesome, brother. We appreciate you. And congratulations on being a two-time made man. We appreciate also Julian Cardenas in the chat room, jumps in there with a $5 donation, says, love you guys. Heck, man, we love you too, Julian. We appreciate you. Mosh, you had quite the raving response to your ambush there of Swag Jeff, which was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And okay, now so I'm gonna set you up here, Mosh. It's been a minute since you've been here in the cave. I got something for you. So our buddy Fargo Raider last week sent to us a beer. He brought us the Drecker Brewing from Brewhalla. What's it called, Jeff? It's the Irish Red. I don't remember what it's called.
It is the Broken Rudder.
Broken Rudder. And do you like it? Have you had it yet?
I've saved the last swig for Uncle Mosh.
It's freaking delicious. Okay, so there's...
Hey, so if I can get Swaggy's backwash and dredges, I might like this.
So there you go. And so the Broken Rudder, it's delicious. And then also, Mosh, he also sent these things that... Mosh is definitely in a wrestling mood. I love it. For those of you in the audio podcast, Mosh just smashed the can against his head.
Yes!
Yes, let's go.
Holy cow.
I love it. And you haven't had any sugar yet. So they're called chippers. These are chocolate-covered potato chips. Show those.
Save me one. I haven't got one yet.
Yeah, he hasn't had any yet. Vinny, come have one.
Go ahead. You just picked...
You think I won't eat it?
Yeah, there you go. So try it. Chocolate potato. What do you think?
There you go.
Isn't that delicious?
Oh my gosh! Just the whole idea of the salt and the sweet together.
Yeah, that's legit,
Holy
right?
Crap, that's good. Swaggy.
Yeah, thank you, Josh Maldonado, Fargo Raider.
That goes really good on top of that beer, too. I'm not kidding.
Yes, totally agree. Me and Jeff Murphy last week, man, it was great. QB Jeff was in here. Isn't that good, Swag?
Totally.
Isn't that delicious?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really good radio.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Well, the skinny guys last week were trying this stuff, so now you got the two heavy breathers over here eating the chips.
Well, you guys already got your cardio and smacking each other with the sheet pan, by the
How
way.
are you guys? I'm going to have to go by. I might actually go and watch one of these things.
Oh,
was that funny?
Oh, my gosh, that was great.
Yeah,
it was funny. No, it was good.
in the back.
The chat room was cracking up.
I got here late, blah, blah, blah. But I was in the back and I was hugging Vinny, and I all I could hear was, I'm like, oh, Swag!
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so let's go on to the next email here. So Uncle Mosh, now that we have Uncle Mosh here in the fan cave, so thankful to have him here. Welcome to the show, Uncle Mosh. And let's go ahead and check in with our buddy, Ty the Raider.
Yo, what's up, Murph Swaggy, and the one and only Uncle Mosh. I hope all is well and everyone is safe and in good health. At the time of this email, the legal tampering period have already come and the Raiders have made some big moves. I heard we're thinking about signing someone. It should be exciting since I've been refreshing my Twitter all day. Carr once again got a wide receiver paid. I wonder if the Jags would sign me. I wouldn't mind making a few million to disappoint Jag fans. As I smell the grilled cheese sandwich, I couldn't help but think about the idea of bringing Trent Brown back. If we're lucky, we can get him to play 6 games, maybe 7, if we add 400 fruit roll-ups as a signing bonus. Seriously, we need to address this O-line. I know everyone wanted J.C. Jackson, but he already wanted to play for a cursed team that will always find a way to lose after having a great free agency. I'm more concerned about all the linemen that was signed and re-signed to teams today. Well, now it's Tuesday evening, and we have brought back Levitt and signed Darius Phillips. Real blockbuster moves right there. I like Levitt. I've always liked Levitt.
You've always liked Levitt.
Because he lives like 20 minutes
He's
from
like,
here.
yeah.
In all seriousness, I know this staff will make some smart moves, and everyone will stop panicking. I wonder how Sean Smith is doing. Maybe we can bring him and Eddie Vanderhulst back to help with the defense. I don't know about all that.
Well,
As long as
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they bring Moore and Howard with them, well, I guess I'll hop back on Madden and continue to destroy the salary cap. I look forward to seeing everyone in Vegas for the draft. My plan is to get Murph so drunk, I can see you, Swag, that he starts to deliver the rise of Sky. Oh, I don't read.
You read it. Please. I'll be
The
nice.
Rise of Skywalker is a cinematic masterpiece. All love and respect, RFR family. Ta-da, Raiders!
Nice job, Ty. Let's go.
P.S. This is the way.
Oh, no, that's a cinematic masterpiece. I only had one problem. Well, I had some issues with Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker had to recover from it. But the one line in Rise of Skywalker that just killed me, it was, "They fly now? They fly now."
There you go.
I was waiting for your crickets over there.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
There you go. All right.
We're running out of time. My life is running out of lifespan.
All right, so to close out the emails, every crew needs a captain, and while we have a captain, the Capo, who kind of governs the whole crew, he's the head of the table. But for the emailers, as far as they go, we depend on our good friend over across the pond, Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi.
Paul? Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. By the time you read this, new league year will be with us, and you can taste the excitement in the air. The early moves in free agency are being made, and it's already been a little crazy for some of us as I type this out. Just after midnight Wednesday, there's been no movement from our front office as yet. It really is all quiet on the AFC Western front. I'm choosing to stay calm at the minute. None of our needs have changed because of a few additions elsewhere in the division. We need to let the coaching staff and front office do their job and stop stressing. I've consoled myself with the fact that we're being careful, diligent, sensible, and practical by not joining in the overpaying frenzy that took place around the league, although it would have been nice to see at least one new face by now. Some of the contracts that have been handed out are eye-watering. The numbers keep going up, and it is a little unnerving to see some big names moving in our division. But I remain confident that we will get our roster balanced and all will be well. I was disappointed to see Alec Ingold got released. He was a great fullback for us, and while the position can be filled, his leadership and loyalty as a team captain could be harder to replace.
Yeah.
I always liked him. He was reliable and had a great Raider mindset. It's not always about stats for me, and it's a shame to see him leave. I wish him well as long as he doesn't end up elsewhere in the AFC West. Ain't that the truth? We are living in difficult, concerning times at the moment. We've just battled our way through an unprecedented pandemic, only to come out on the other end and find out the world's leaders has turned into a raging fruit bat. Normally, under our circumstances, I'd turn to my comedy heroes to brighten the mood. Mel Brooks, Woody Allen, Richard Pryor, or Madeline Kahn. I didn't need to do this weekend because a few stories emerged in the NFL that made me laugh my ass off for a few days.
Nice.
Kirk Cousins got himself $35 million guaranteed. One year deal for being bang bang average. Zay Jones has landed a $30 million contract, which is mind-blowing and makes you wonder how much Devontae Adams will get in the end.
Oh.
But best of all, the king of the dropped catch, the master of the sucking photo, your friend and mine, Amari Cooper, has ended up with Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. This is a comedy duo to rival Abbott and Costello. A guy that can't throw it and a guy that will drop it even if you do. And they say the Raiders are dysfunctional? Now, I know the Browns may choose to move on from Mayfield, but the thought of that not happening warms my heart. You gotta love the NFL. Also, this week, can you believe it? Khalil Mack was traded to the land that time forgot in L.A. And I care as little about that as Russell Wilson traded to the Donkeys. The only thing that has changed for me now is that I hate the guy rather than just being bitter at him. I'm sure many of you feel hurt by it, but I get that. Me, personally, you can trust me when I say this. Nothing will hurt me more than watching Marcus Allen play for the Chiefs. That move still stings, even now. So, as we head into free agency, the tensions will increase. Who will be the new heroes for us in silver and black to pin our hopes and dreams on? There's lots to do, and we have to trust the process. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin will keep eating his crazy cake, and the French will continue to look for a way to surrender just in case. It's a crazy world. Paul, I love you.
Said by the Englishman. I love it.
It's a crazy world indeed. Thank God for the NFL. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Polly Award winner 2019. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler scorekeeper. Proud made man. Five-time, +1. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Nice job, Paul.
Paul.
Paul. Your name, Paul?
Hello, Paul.
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
I'm Paul.
All right, good stuff there from our buddy Paul. We appreciate you, my friend. And keep those amazing emails coming. And if you want to jump in on the emails, you can always do that at that's SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com. All right, now let's get to the voicemails. So you can call us anytime on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline at 909-345-3346.
That's 909-345-3346.
And that line is open 24/7, except when we're closed because we got the weather on the 8s and traffic on the 9s. But definitely hit us up there anytime and give us your Raider takes. Give us your whatever your thoughts are about free agency and all this craziness that's going on in the NFL right now. And so, anyways, we always start off this segment, though, with our good friend. He is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We call him the Capo because every crew needs a captain. And let's check in with Capo. Capo's got a great one this week. We got about 6 minutes of Capo here. This is fantastic.
Greetings, Don Merv. Underboss Sonny, Consigliere, Uncle Moss, Swag Jeff, our Sergeant at Arms, the Big Raider Trucker. And congratulations to you and Miss Stephanie for bringing on yet another edition of Raider Nation.
Go.
Yes, I'm talking about little baby Julian and young Chili Dog from When the Universe Speaks. And, of course, all support and prayers go to Queen Libby. And, of course, Splatterhead and the Inebriation Nation. Now, remember today is Wednesday, March 16th. And this is a very pivotal day because GM Dave Ziegler is earning his money as he continues to accumulate cap space as the NFL free agency period officially kicked off this afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, the Raiders reworked multiple deals, and as their salary cap availability continues to climb, unlike in years prior, the Raiders, they haven't tricked off any wild money of players that they don't believe in, but also they have a relatively high level of confidence in the players already on the roster, not named Farrell. Now, the Raiders do have holes on the roster, and of course, those are being addressed. Allow me to digress, but the Raiders solidified their pass rush earlier in the offseason by locking down Pro Bowler Max Crosby. You know how much he made and what it's for, but the moves weren't over there. News came that we've just cut Carl Nassib. Make your own comments. And we've signed defensive end Chandler Jones. Yes, that Chandler Jones. And shipped off Unique Ngakoue to the Colts. Now, who saw this coming? But you know what? I like the deal. And they weren't done there, but they also, in that package deal, happened to acquire a defensive back, a fellow Q-Dog out of Temple, defensive back, Rock Ya-Sin.
Let's go.
I was high on this guy in 2019. Let's start with Jones, who made the Pro Bowl last season at 31. Now, he's going to be 32, and, it is reasonable to wonder whether or not he's got too much left in the tank, but keep in mind, he made the Pro Bowl last year. I think there's some tread on the tires. Now, all he needs to do is provide the kind of pressure that keeps QBs from escaping the pocket and occasionally create the kind of havoc that drives passes into the awaiting arms of Crosby. Let's do it. I'm with this, man. Now, but they already kind of sort of had that in Ngakoue but I see more of the good thing coming in 2022. Now, Ngakoue, he was also 5 years younger than Jones, and while he doesn't carry the same, cachet and name recognition, I mean, Ngakoue was pretty damn good, and they wouldn't get chopped liver in return for him. That makes the swing vote and the whole deal Yasin, who was the 33rd selection in the 2019 draft. Yasin, he's now a Raider and coming off statistically his best season, and he even put up an 88.8 passer defense rating while in coverage. He'll likely slide into a starting role because the beleaguered secondary of Casey Hayward and Brandon Faison, they both are heading to free agents. Yasin has the talent to be an above-average starter, and if he can realize his potential, I mean, this could be a brilliant deal for the Raiders. Though that'll all depend on Jones continuing to shine well into his 30s. Now, if Swag Jeff is in the room, could you please ask him to step out for just a moment?
Get out.
Okay. Dan Graciano of ESPN.com writes that Marcus Mariota, MMA, is generating a lot of buzz with the Colts. No! He could be their next starter. The former overall pick, second in the 2015 draft,
I know where he was drafted.
A lot of, interest, and he didn't do anything to dispel that while he was backing up DC4. Keep that in mind. Now, let's Swag Jeff back in the room.
Come back,
also,
Swaggy.
our Raiders, by now,
in
likely locked down another defensive lineman. And I'm talking about defensive tackle Bilal Nichols from the Bears. Now, Nichols is expected to sign a 2-year deal worth approximately $11 million, with $9 million of it guaranteed. I'd love to see it. Well, the first wave of free agency, is pretty much come and gone, But, the rumors still are swirling, and they are bound for J.C. Jackson. And we didn't sign that cat. And I'm not mad that we didn't. He's ended up going to, what's that outfit? The L.A. Superchargers. We can all collectively say we don't give a damn. And even though we missed out, getting out of the gates, and it kind of stung a little bit, and we were all kind of texting and asking each other, what are the Raiders going to do? And then we end up settling for Darius Phillips, and it's quite okay. Relax. Let's breathe. We're getting ready to make this shit right. Now, we've got 7 people I think we need to pay a close eye on. First up being Stephon Gilmore. He's a quarterback, and according to Pro Football Focus, his contract will likely be 2 years, $12.5 million. He's 31 years of age, and the Raiders are reportedly in the mix for his services. Now, he used to be the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and I'd like to see us make that deal. Next up, Marcus Williams, safety. According to Pro Football Focus, they think this cat's going to make $16.3 million over 4 years. He's only 25 years of age. We need all the safety help we can get, especially after what I had witnessed in the 2021 season. Trayvon Merritt, he played well as a rookie, and still unworthy number 24 jersey wearer Jonathan Abram, even though he was much improved, that dude, he needs to go. And we need more help. Marcus Williams fills the bill. Let's work the numbers. Coming in at number 3, but number 1 in my heart, Allen Robinson, wide receiver.
Let's go.
Now, according to Pro Football Focus, his projected contract is going to be 3 years, $16 million per. Now, the cat's only 28 years of age, and I can't think of another player that needs to come to the silver and black more than this dude. I mean, this guy, he's a true number 1. You keep hearing this, a number 1, an X. Now, he's made a lot of statistics, money, highlights with subpar quarterbacking. DC4, conversely, he's made a lot of highlights, money, and statistics with a lot of subpar receiving. Let's marry this thing up. I mean, I want to see it. I don't care what the numbers are. Crunch them. Make it happen. Number 4, Morgan Moses, right tackle. And this is another need position, but he's the best available. Pro Football Focus has this guy coming at 3 years, 7.5 per year. 31 years of age. We all know the Raiders are going to be adding offensive linemen somehow, some way. What we do with Alex Leatherwood is neither here nor there. He's going to be on your team. Keep him at right guard and bring in Morgan Moses to book in the line. Number 5, DJ Chark, for obvious reasons. He's 25. Pro Football Focus has this guy coming in at 2 years and 12.5 per. This guy's got all the size, speed, talent. Unfortunately, he had a few injury issues. He had a broken finger and, of course, a broken ankle that ended this season. But let's bring him on. Long shots, number 6, Calais Campbell. Yes, that Calais Campbell. We can get the 35-year-old defensive stalwart for 1 year, $8 million. whatever. Push. Number 7, Jason Hayward. Pro Football Focus says if we can bring this cat back on a 1-year, $6.5 million deal, the 32-year-old, we need to saddle him up, re-sign him. Silver linings. We also learned that, that star that seems to be losing luster season after season in our secondary and special teams, Dalen Levitt, has been tendered another restrictive agent tender. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm at a loss. The hit list. Jackson Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Jerry Jones, Daniel Snyder, Roger Goodell, Jim Rome, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, Aaron Rodgers, Insurrectionist, and welcome back. You asked for it, you got it, Tom Brady. You suck.
There he is, Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, man. Great job. Great job, Aaron. We appreciate you so very much. All right, we got 3 more to get to here tonight. So let's check in next with our good friend. He is the northernmost Raider fan. He's the guy. So here we got the wrestling is going to be on point tonight, Mosh. So we've had a lot of talk about Scott Hall. We had a lot of talk about it being 316 Day earlier. And of course, we're going to hear from our buddy Kiljadis, who does an amazing job of not only being Kiljadis, but he does Raider Macho Savage as well. So let's check in with our buddy up there in Alaska. What?
It's really is Raider Macho Savage. It's not Kiljadis.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Oh, it's really 2 people?
Yeah, it's like the main guy.
It's not the same person.
Well, it's like, how the main guy.
The inverse of the main guy?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's go check in with our buddy Kiljadis.
What a crazy week we've had. Oof. So many things that went good and went bad. Aaron Rodgers said he's not leaving Green Bay. But we have a few weapons that'll make Aaron Rodgers want to hit the hay. Russell Wilson went from sucky second-class seasonal Seahawk to the Broncos. Ooh, too bad the man went to a team that doesn't have any Wallace Renfrews. Khalil Mack decided to be a sparkler. What a surprise. Oh, and his unloyal demeanor towards us only end up with his demise. And Tom Brady decided to pull a Brett Favre and come back out of retirement to make sure Rodgers doesn't make it into the Super Bowl. Who like it matters, because no one can stand the might of the Death Star and the black hole. Ooh. Oh, what a break. Nice. Good workout, champ. You're looking better every day. So, what was it? I did 98 40-yard sprints, 98 squats, 98 pull-ups, 98 push-ups, and 98 sit-ups while wearing weighted clothing to put my weight at, let me guess, 298 pounds. That's right. And I'm done with my first workout. I'll do another one in a few hours, complete 2 workouts. In celebration of Max Crosby's second year of being sober. And to his contract extension. Yes, that is great. Well, I'm concerned that we are not making any splashes in free agency, though. Oh, our time will come. And trust me, do not let your mind have trouble. We're going to make tsunamis with ours, while the others are just going to be like throwing a mustard seed into a puddle. Well, I think it's going to be a dogfight for the West. Crown nonetheless. Our right side is going to need to get good or get stepping with everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Von Miller went back to the Broncos. Von Miller is just too indulged in himself. And even if he wanted to go back to the Broncos, we'll stop him just like we have in the past. Well, before you hit the showers, let's give a shout out to one of the greatest to step in the ring. Razor Ramon Sculpt Hall. You were one of the best to do it. You lived the life that many would want, and you did it like the outsider you were. The ladder match at WrestleMania 5, the other battles you had against Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, a tag team match between you and Ric Flair against Mr. Perfect and Randy Savage. The bad times won't last, but the memory of you, the bad guy, will last forever. Hey, yo, rest in peace, Razor Ramon. Rest in peace, Razor Ramon. Ugh. Hey, at least we have a Raider Ramon. You're right, we do. You know what? I don't know. When's the last time we heard about... Oh, okay, go take a shower. What? You're sopping wet and you just put your dripping, sweaty hand on your own way to ruin the moment. I'm not going to ruin the moment here. You are dripping wet all over the floor.
Nice.
Oh, good job, Kiljadis.
That's so funny because that's such a true thing. I hate nasty people that do that. Come on.
Oh my gosh,
that's so funny.
So funny. All right, good stuff there from Kiljadis and Raider Macho Savage, and Yeah, we talked about it at the top, and I want to hear your thoughts before we get to the end, Mosh, about Scott. And but yes, rest in peace once again to Scott Hall. All right, next up, let's check in with Jeff's best friend, and those of you that are familiar enough with our show, probably your best friend too. She's one of the best. She's a great caller each and every time she does. Let's hear from our good friend.
Put your hand on the beeper button.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got my hand on the beeper button, and there are some I didn't beep out because they're tamer. But yes, always passionate, always great takes from our good friend Michelle Sweat.
Hey guys, just calling in to ask if some of y'all are okay. It is wild out there in Raider Nation right now. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you, like, I don't know how I think a fan should act or, like, what's a good fan, what's a bad fan, because we all know that, like, fandom expression kind of happens in its own way. Everyone's got their individuality. But I am here to tell you how to not be a dumb bitch. First and foremost, quit saying dumb shit that implies that our season is already over and we haven't even started yet. That is a bitch move. Don't do that. Food is pretty impulsive. Like, McDaniels and company kind of seem maybe a little more, I don't know, like calculated, maybe disciplined. Yes, we've been traumatized. Like, I'm not, like, discounting the trauma. Hell, I'm still traumatized from a lot of the things we've gone through in the past. But you gotta let go of the bullshit from the past and embrace this different regime. I think, like, Raider Nation just isn't used to, like, the measured approach, and we all gotta get acclimated to what that feels like. But shit, some of y'all are collapsing the fucking ceiling on us before we even get the chance to see the house built. And that is another bitch move. Don't do that shit either. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
So good. Oh, she's the best. She's the damn best. Great points, man. Like, y'all are collapsing the roof down before we even built the house, man. Let's go. Great stuff there from our friend Michelle. All right, we got one more to get to. He is our good friend out there in the Canary Islands, who's now a neighbor of my oldest, as he soon is going to arrive at Rota, Spain, out there at the Naval Air Force Base. And so, what I got to look for? It's going to happen eventually. Yes. So, anyways, but let's hear from our good buddy in the Canary Islands. He is Raider-born Rico.
Hey guys, Rico here. So just a quick message. Sorry for being late, Murph. I don't know if you're gonna put it up tonight, but I just want to say happy with the signing. I mean, you have to be patient, man, because I understand we're living in an age that everybody is like, jumping over and throw the first stone. Man, I never see something like that like in the last 2 years. Everybody's ready to point the finger, throw the first stone. Listen, man, you got to be patient and something will come out eventually, you know. And happy for Chandler Jones signing in, and happy for, especially for Rakia Sin. That's a big trade to me. I mean, Ngakwe, respect the guy a lot, but at least you got to make some space. And if you have to choose in between some guys, if you have to choose in between Max Crosby and Ngakwe and Chandler Jones and Rock Yassin, I think is a really good move. Might happen something else. And please, another thing, stop with all that. This guy bought a house in Vegas. This guy is in Vegas right now. Listen, we don't own Vegas. You know, like we knew in Vegas. Vegas is Vegas since ages ago. Everybody want to go there having some good time. So keep your faith, keep your patience. Let's let those people work and see what happens. Anyway, always said it. We need every year some good linebackers with pedigree, good cornerbacks with pedigree. So build up that defense, spend some money, and let's go. Go Raiders. Love you all, and I'm out.
All right, there he is, Raider-born Rico. Nice job, buddy.
Good job, Rico. so good to hear from him again. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's what Swagger and I were talking about at the beginning of the show, man. It's good to hear from Rico. Good to hear from Michelle. Good to hear from so many of our good friends.
Yes.
It's always good to hear from you because more of you and less of us is a good thing. All right, so Uncle Mosh, I'm so glad you got here in time to hear all the emails.
I did.
All the voicemails. And so Uncle Mosh awards the best of the best, which we call the Sizzler Award. And who do you got tonight?
Well, Raider Jack started it all off, and I got a little bit of a headache after Raider Jack's email.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted a little bit.
A little bit, but you started it.
I did.
And I couldn't let you outdo me.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So I had to kick my own ass. All right, Tida.
You've made me do that several times, I think.
I know. It's you endured it. You earned it.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Raider
Nice.
came in there. Had a great email. Thank you, Ta-da. We always appreciate hearing from you. Paul kills us every time Paul writes in. He's the five time 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 guy, and we just that was a lot of math right there.
A lot of plus ones, yeah.
And then
We love
Capo, of
numbers.
course, Capo had a dissertation.
Awesome.
Vinny graduated during that. Started his third year of college, but hey, I'm not saying it was too long, but we loved it. We loved it.
Always great.
And then killed Jadis. Good week, bad week. Kill Jadis. Good week, maybe. Bad week, maybe.
Maybe.
R.I.P. Razor Ramon. And then Michelle, we got to talk about your language a little bit. She says, is everybody okay? She's got this sweet voice. What a voice. She's got a beautiful voice. Hi, I'm Michelle. Go to hell, bitches.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
She's killing me.
Let me teach you how to not be a dumb bitch.
Yeah. You just stole my thunder, but that's what she wrote. Okay, Raider Nation, don't be a dumb bitch. I love it. Rico, so good to hear from my man Rico in the Canary Islands. And, you got the button over there, Swaggy.
Got the button.
Tonight's Sizzler Award goes to the one who is not a dumb bitch, Michelle.
Hey, nice job, Michelle.
Yes.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your
Oakland Raiders.
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Michelle has a poopy mouth.
So I don't know if anyone else wrote this down, but Paul in the chat said that if one person solo won the Sizzler tonight, we just awarded our 150th Sizzler Award ever.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So congratulations, Michelle. That's a sweet milestone.
That's badass. So Michelle, you've won the 150th Sizzler Award. How cool is that, man?
That's right.
Wow.
You won a free Domenico sandwich that you can redeem any Wednesday.
Love it, man. Love it. So appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. Schmucky the Raider Bear. Raider Critique is in there. Pineapple's in there. Storm killed Jadis. They're in the Q-Dog Raider. Paul Edgerton. Hold on. Don't play the outro yet, please. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I should have said. Foxy Scorpio, Ron the Mater, Storm, Michelle Sweat, Alfred Esparza. Raider Cam is in there. Critique. Tom is in there. Lencho. So many of our good friends are in there. Julian Cardenas, we appreciate you so very, very much. So thank you for supporting the show, and I'm going to leave these guys for their closing thoughts and everything and where you can find us and all that good stuff. But before we get to that, gentlemen, Mosh, you weren't here when we were talking a little bit about Scott Hall and about the significance of what he and Nash and what the NWO meant, and I drew the equivalency that they were like, to me, the Raiders of wrestling, like what they did, the bad guys, like embracing that whole mystique and whatnot. You got anything you want to say about, because you and I experienced all that together?
Yeah, we had a ball with that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I always dug about Razor Ramon, he and Scott, it's a little known fact, Scott played basketball for the University of Tennessee.
Kevin.
Kevin Hall. Yeah. Not Scott, but Kev did. And Kev had a couple of other jobs in the business. Kev was Shawn Michaels' bodyguard for a long time, and it was more of a handler than a bodyguard. But when he hooked up with Scott Hall, there was instant chemistry, and it was chemistry that came through. You know, anything they could do in the alternative era, the bad guy era, whatever you want to call it, whatever they did was gold, and people ate it up. You know, SNL did Saturday Night Live did an old long time ago. They did a skit about Picasso. And about how Picasso would take a paintbrush and he would just slap it, and he'd go, "Here, buy this for $100,000." You know, and he took a Kleenex and he blew his nose and he goes, "Here, it's a Picasso." You know, it was really funny, but that was what they could do. Whatever they did turned to gold. He didn't end well. He went through some struggles in his life, and I think that's one of the coolest things about him, because he's a redemption story.
Amen.
And we all love a redemption story.
Amen.
And he had his ups and he had his downs, and he probably, when the truth be known, he probably had more downs than he had ups, even though they rode the top for the longest time. But he didn't let the downs keep him down. He kept fighting, and he was a fighter till the end. And if any of it you have a chance, read. Did you read it? Did you read what Kev wrote?
Yes,
to them?
yes, I sure did.
You know,
Yep,
and that's it. You know, I mean, he hung on, and he waited till the family was there, and then when they finally pulled the plug for the final 1, 2, 3, he was ready to go. And in my opinion, the man went out on top.
Amen. Well done, Mosh. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Appreciate everybody that's joined us here tonight for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you guys, both the guys in the booth. Thank you, Vinny, for running the camera. Thank you, Swag Jeff, for being here. Absolute blast tonight. Uncle Mosh, thank you so much for getting here and sliding in. Gentlemen, take us home.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat. Michelle Sweat, congrats on the 150th Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award. Aaron the Q-Dog Raiders in there. Raider Cam, Raider Critique, Storm, Dale Jr.'s in there. Corey Burham's in there. Chasing Gorditas is in there. B. Al. Our buddy Thom is in there. Lencho. Julia Cardenas is in there. Schmucky the Raider Bear. Pineapple. Storm. Kill Jadis. Paul is in there. Foxy Scorpio. Ron the Materator. Thanks for holding it down. We raised $50 tonight for the One Nation Foundation.
Let's go.
So thank you so much for all those that donated. And yeah, man. Had a great show, man. This was so much fun.
It was fun. It was too
sweet. Oh, nice. And buckle up, folks. Free agency is going to be fun.
Oh, my gosh. Barely getting started.
Just getting started, man. Let's go. Uncle Mosh, take us home.
I guess we'll be back next week. What the hell? We got nothing to do on a Wednesday.
Man, yeah.
Man, thanks for listening tonight, everybody. You know, it's been a great night. My little buddy Swaggy J over there, my little nephew over there, my grandnephew over there on the Raider Cam. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't worry about the horse being blind. Just load the wagon. What happened in Vegas started in Oakland. Yo. Adios, malingerers.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
And thanks for Crujo, another $10 donation.
Thank you, Crujo.
Right on, Crujo.
We raised $60 tonight. Thank you.
Awesome.
Take your vitamins. Say your prayers. Good night. God bless.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night.
Where's my sandwich?
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.